Okay, and today I'm still on the topic of forgiveness, and I came across the website greatergood.berkeley.edu talk about the key to forgiveness, eight keys to forgiveness. Uh, Number one, know what forgiveness is and why it matters. Why it matters. Number two, become forgivingly fit. Number three, address your inner pain. And number four, develop a forgiving mind through empathy. Number five, find meaning in your suffering. Number six, when forgiveness is hard, call upon other strength. Number seven, forgive yourself. And number eight, develop a forgiving heart. And this might take a long uh, time in this episode, but I might separate it to be the two parts, first and second, and this part will only describe about four uh, of eight key to forgiveness from this website. And an introduction of it, forgiveness can be incredibly difficult. Robert Enright explained where to start. When another person hurts us, it can upend our lives. Sometimes the hurt is very deep, such as when a spouse or a parent betrays our trust, or when we are victims of crime, or when we've been harshly bullied. Anyone who has suffered a grievous hurt knows that when our inner world is badly disrupted, it's difficult to concentrate on anything other than our turmoil or pain. When we hold on to hurt, we are emotionally and cognitively hobbled, hobbled and our relationship suffer. Forgive, Forgiveness is strong medicine for this. When life hits us hard, there is nothing as effective as forgiveness for healing deep wounds. It would not have spent the last 30 years of my life studying forgiveness if I were not convinced of this. Many people have misconceptions about what forgiveness really means, and they may eschew it. Author may want to forgive, but wonder whether or not they truly can. Forgiveness doesn't necessarily come easily, but it is possible for many of us to achieve if we have the right tools and we are willing to put in the effort. Below the outline of the basic steps involved in following a path of forgiveness. Adapt for the new book 8 Keys to Forgiveness. As you read through these steps, think about how you might adapt them to your own life. And okay, let's go to number one. Know what forgiveness is and why it matters. Forgiveness, Forgiveness is about goodness, about extending mercy to those who harm us, even if they don't deserve it. It is not about finding excuse for the offending person's behavior or pretending it didn't happen. Nor is there a quick formula you can follow. Forgiveness is a process with many steps that often proceeded in a non-linear fashion, but it, it is well worth the effort working on forgiveness can help us increase our self-esteem and give us a sense of inner strength and safety. It can reverse the lies that we often tell ourselves when someone has hurt us deeply. Like I am defeated or I am not worthy. Forgiveness can heal us and allow us to move on in life with meaning and purpose. Forgiveness matters, and we will be its primarily beneficially beneficiary. Studies have shown that forgiving others produces strong psychological benefits. For the one who forgives, it has been shown to decrease depression, anxiety, unhealthy anger, and symptoms of PTSD. But we don't just forgive to help ourselves. Forgiveness can lead to psychological healing. Yes, but in its essence, it is not something about you or done for you. It is something you extend to another person because you recognize over time that it is the best response to the situation. Know the forgiveness is and what it matters. And number two, become forgivingly fit. To practice forgiveness, it helps if you have worked on positively changing your inner world by learning to be what I call forgivingly fit. Just as you would start slowly with a new physical exercise routine. It helps if you build up your forgiving heart muscle slowly, incorporating regular workouts into your everyday life. You can start becoming more fit by making commitment to do not harm. In other words, making a conscious effort not to talk disparagingly about those who have hurt you. You don't have to say good things, but if you refrain from talking negatively, it will feed the more forgiving side of your mind and heart. You can also make a practice of recognizing that every person in unique is every person is unique, special, and irreplaceable. You may come to this thought, religious belief, or humanist philosophy, or even though you believe in evolution. It's important to cultivate this mindset of valuing our common humanity so it is become harder to discount someone who has harmed you as unworthy. You can show love in small ways in every encounters, like smiling at the Harris grocery cashier or taking time to listen to a child. Giving love when it's unnecessary help to build the love muscle, making it easier to show compassion toward everyone. If you practice small acts of forgiveness and mercy, extending care when someone harms you in everyday life, these two will help. Perhaps you can refrain from honking when someone cuts you off in traffic. These two will help. Or hold your tongue when your spouse snaps at you and extend a hug instead. Sometimes pride and power can weaken your efforts to forgive by making you feel entitled and inflated, so that you hang in you hang on to your resentment as a noble cause. Try to catch yourself when you are when that praise acting from that place, and shows forgiveness or mercy instead. If you need inspiration, it can help to seek out stories of mercy in the world by going to the International Forgiveness Institute website, www.internationalforgiveness.com. This is the Become Forgivingly Fit. Make it every day strong. Uh, Keep practice it. Your give forgiveness muscle. And number three, address your inner pain. Address your inner pain. Kind of uh, describe, kind of define your problem like this. I guess it is important to figure out who has hurt you and how. This may seem obvious, but not every action that caused you suffering is unjust. For example, you don't need to forgive your child and your spouse for being imperfect, even if their imperfections are inconvenience for you. To become clearer, you can look carefully at the people in your life, your parents, siblings, peer, spouse, co-workers, children, and even yourself, and read how much they have hurt you. Perhaps they have exercised power over you or withheld love, or maybe they have physically harmed you. These hurts have contributed to your inner pain and need to be acknowledged. Doing this will give you an idea of who needs forgiveness if in your life, and provide a place to start. These are many forms of emotional pain, but the common form are anxiety, depression, unhealthy anger, lack of trust, self-loathing, or low self-esteem, and overall negative worldview, and a lack of confidence in one's ability to change. All of these harms can be addressed by forgiveness. So it's important to identify the kind of pain you are suffering from and to acknowledge it. It's the more hurt you have incurred, the more important it is to forgive, at least for the purpose of experiencing emotional healing. You may be able to do this accounting on your own, or you may need to help of a therapy therapist. However, you you approach looking at your pain, be sure you do in it an environment that feels safe and supportive. As we as the forecast kind of define the pain that annoy you, define the inner pain, address it. And number four, develop a forgiving mind through empathy. Scientists have studied uh, what happens in the brain when we think about forgiving, and have discovered that when people successfully imagine forgiving someone in hypothetical situation, They show increased activity in the neural uh, circuit responsible for empathy. This tells us the empathy is connected to forgiveness, and it is an important step in the process. If you examine some of the detail in the life of the person who harmed you, you can often see more clearly what wounds and carries and start to develop empathy for him. First, try to imagine him as an innocent child, needing love and support. Did he get that from the parents? Research has shown that if an infant doesn't receive attention and love from primary caregivers, then he will have a weak attention, which can damage trust. That may prevent him from even uh, that may prevent him from ever getting close to author and set a traje- traje- trajectory of loneliness and conflict for the rest of his life. You may be able to put an entire narrative together for the person who hurt you, from early child through adulthood, or just imagine it from what you know. You may be able to see her physical fear ties and psychological suffering, and begin to understand the common humanity that you share. You may recognize her as a vulnerable person who was wounded and wounded you in return. Despite what she may have done to hurt you, you realize that she did not deserve to suffer either. Recognizing that recognizing that we all carry vow in our hearts can help open the door to forgiveness. And this is all the four of way eight key for to give forgiveness, and the 5, 6, 7, 8 is the five meaning in your suffering. uh, Number 6 is give what forgiveness is hard. When forgiveness is hard, call upon other strengths. Number 7, forgive yourself. And number 8, develop a forgiving heart. And I will continue this on the next episode. Thank you for today. And if you have any recommendation or any question, you can leave your comment below. Thank you so much.